This is part 2 because YouTube only lets me upload 15-minute videos at a time.
So anyways, for your viewing pleasure, we're making a part 2. I think I left off at the all of the specialists that she's seen. Boys Town National Research Hospital. She's seen the craniofacial team there. I think I said that for several years. Anyways, I just wanted to tell you kind of some of the disciplines that she's seen. So she's seen specialists, yeah. Audiologist, laryngology. I believe this is ENT.
Yeah. So a guy who does ear, nose, and throat.
So Ramsey had to have tubes in her ears because within the mouth, so because her palate was compromised, right?
It didn't grow. It left. It didn't give me. Didn't give me very much room in my ears and my sinuses as it would for someone else.
So everything is connected, right, in your mouth. So your sinuses, your ears, your throat, all of that is connected. So of course, when you don't have a proper roof of your mouth or palate or growth, then your ears and the drainage for them are also impacted. So she also seen an ENT specialist. She's seen a pediatric geneticist. She had tubes in her ears. She actually still has one left, and she still sees an ENT specialist to this day.
Yep. And to take ear drops.
Yep. And she still has pretty much the same problem. She has to have her ears tested. Her hearing has been compromised some, but
I have to do that in 6 months. I get a hearing test in 6 months too.
They check her hearing on a pretty much a bi-yearly basis, I believe now.
Anytime I go to the ENT with a problem, they check my hearing after it's all cleared up.
Yep.
And so in like June, I had so much drainage and my ear was actually bleeding and I had really severe like inflammation, and my doctor said it was the worst that he's seen it. And we've actually seen him before, about 4 years ago. I had the same thing. It just wasn't as bad. And he gave me ear drops, and I've used them all summer.
He also vacuums her ear out with a little machine.
That feels really good.
Pretty odd to watch.
It feels really good, though. And so yeah, now that it's all cleared up, and he says it actually looks better than he's ever seen it, I get a hearing test.
So this is what hearing tests look like. I've kept them all. I don't know when this one was dated, but... And she actually sometimes got these through the school as well. And she actually, while she was in school, she also had an IEP for speech and language services.
Yeah. I had that VPI flap the year I was supposed to go to kindergarten, but I still couldn't talk afterwards. So then that whole year after my VPI flap, I went to speech therapy every day at a certain time. And then I went to school the next year. So I actually could have graduated in 2016, but that's okay. It's not like I'm that old.
Right. So, what else do we have? Other things that we kind of ran into was there was an incident when she had to have some dental procedures, and there were some challenges with, she had like chest pneumonia, so she had to have some x-rays and get that all taken care of. That was kind of a scary time for us.
Yeah, I actually had surgery at that time, and then that's how they learned I had pneumonia.
Right. And
so there was a complication during the surgery.
Yes, and they actually, I'm not sure I ever explained this right, but they kind of thought maybe that her
my esophagus, my airway is very, very tiny.
Smaller than maybe they expected or anticipated.
And so that caused like a complication too.
Right.
And so now they have to like be really careful and make sure they're using the right size of an intubate tube. So
anesthesiologists are usually really good at it. They
have
seen it a gazillion and 1 million times, so I'm sure. We've never had any problems since then, and everyone's just been, I mean, they're really great about it. They hear us out. And
at my last surgery, I had 2 or 3 anesthesiologists in the room of my surgery, just because my airway is so small.
Well, I just think they do that with cases too.
True. Probably.
Yeah. Anyways, here's some pictures of Ramsey when she was younger and what her mouth used to look like. This is kind of a good history.
You can see that I have a rotted tooth because I I didn't
That
eat
happens.
very well. And my teeth are very, very, very far back. My at that time, I think they were about 12 millimeters, but at the time of my surgery, they were 14 to 16 millimeters apart.
Here's another one later.
Yeah, this is more recently. This is when we moved here, so this is 4 years ago.
This was right before we moved here. This was in
Yeah.
2012.
You can see my teeth are actually straighter.
So this was her break on braces. She was break, and then right after this, she got full mouth. And before the other picture, she just got upper jaw.
And so I've actually had braces since 2012.
And here's an
and a little
example
before.
of
So I've
what
had
it
braces for about like 7 years.
looks like to have one of the teeth. Here's her little jaw, and you can see that tooth down there. Point to that bud.
Right there.
That's kind of what it looks like when teeth would come in abnormally in weird, odd places.
That's an adult tooth, and so is this one.
Right. So we had to have it removed. And that's kind of what we went through with her top jaw as well as some of those things, so they had to be taken out.
Yeah, because they were in the way of my cleft surgeries.
Right.
Of course. So.
Here's a really good picture of what Ramsey looked like with a cephalgram before. And
So that's
we've
my jaw.
actually had some new ones taken, so maybe after some of her last surgeries we'll be able to share those
Ow.
and what the difference is. Okay. I actually don't think I have any more as far as history on here,
Wait.
but I know Ramsey wants to show
Yeah,
something.
I want to share. I got this in junior year, and they made me wear it at nighttime. And I'm not going to put it on because it's embarrassing. It basically, there's this thing in front of my mouth, and it connects here, and then there's a little pad in those two places, and it was meant to slowly bring my jaw forward to close the gap a little bit, but I don't think it worked. I wanted to also show you that this is what my bite looked like.
Before her surgery.
Mm-hmm. And so there's a huge gap.
What was it, 15?
14 to 16 millimeters. At one time it was 14, but that was a couple years before my actual cleft surgery. So it does relapse, does get bigger as I grow
It
more.
should have been up here like that. It's way back here.
Yeah.
So they moved her clear up here.
Mhm.
That's a significant move.
Yeah. A lot of doctors, we actually, they thought that it was fine. They thought it was fine the way it was. And we actually kind of had to fight a little bit to get people to realize that I actually really needed the surgery.
She's most excited for actually biting into a hamburger.
Uh-huh. Well, because before I would bite
Chewing.
and I would tear it, that's how you eat, is bite and pull away.
Or she would literally,
I would
when
sit
she was
there.
tinier, we would rip her food apart.
Yeah.
And then as she got older, she would just rip her food.
I couldn't bite into it. And so it was either bite, try to pull away, and have a huge rip, or mayo all over my face, or ketchup, or whatnot. And so then, during the night, also, because my whole roof of my mouth is scar tissue, it would relax, and it would close my airway, and I would jolt awake. So I actually never got a good night's sleep.
Yeah, we did sleep apnea tests, so that's another thing that she had done.
Yeah.
She actually, when she was younger, I actually left her in my room for the first year, and she was in an upright position most of the time. And then even after I moved her into the crib, I had one of those, I don't know, it was like a square wedge foam thing that I put in her crib, and it held her kind of more in an upright position.
I actually don't sleep like that now, but I actually get really good sleep. All summer I've gotten really good sleep. And another thing was that I couldn't ever talk right. And if you watch my other first two videos, you can kind of tell from watching this video and then watching those two, I had a lisp. And in my head, actually, I told my mom this a couple times, in my head, I thought I sounded perfect. And then listening to myself talk, I'm like, no wonder people had a hard time understanding me. They would always ask, what?
When she was younger, her older sibling was actually her best little translator. It was
We would be at
phenomenal.
the pool, and they'd walk up and be like, she wants to play with you. Okay, bye. And then we'd play.
Yeah,
It was funny because they couldn't understand me.
that was great.
But yeah, I think that's it. I think we've talked about cleft palate stuff enough. So, yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks. And this was our journey.
Yeah.
And we're just happy to be here.
Oh, yeah.